Hey, Moses here. Yeah, I know. I'm kinda a big deal. Sea splitter, plague guy, celebrity prophet, or whatever. But look, I've gotta be real with you for a second. I didn't ask for this. I was just trying to live a quiet life after things got messy back in Egypt. But nah, God shows up, lights a bush on fire, and next thing I know, I'm his spokesperson. Like official rep, no press training, no warning, just go tell Pharaoh what's up. And since then, I've stood in front of some powerful people, watched some crazy cocky guys act like they run the world, and been front row for some miracles that looked like straight up fire shows. And yeah, it's been a lot. Anyway, enough of my voice. Just watch how it all goes down. It started good, like real good. The Israelites had clout in Egypt, thanks to Joseph. Dude literally saved the whole nation from a famine, and his people were chilling. Front row seats in the empire, no stress, no drama. But new Pharaoh came through, and he wasn't feeling any of it. Didn't know Joseph, didn't care. All he saw was a bunch of foreigners multiplying like crazy. So what does he do? Turns their 5-star life into full-time slavery. Straight up labor camp, no breaks, no rights, just bricks, sweat, and beatdowns. Then, it gets even worse. Pharaoh sees too many baby boys and goes full villain. Throw them in the Nile, he says. Yeah, babies. This was real genocide. But one mom said, nah. She hides her son as long as she can, then low-key sends him down the river in a waterproof baby basket, just floating. And guess who finds him? Pharaoh's own daughter. Like, plot twist. She's like, such a cute boy, and decides to raise him in the palace. Bro goes from river rat to royal overnight. Name's Moses, by the way. Fast forward. Moses grows up with gold plates and Egyptian TikToks, but deep down, he knows he's Hebrew. One day, he sees a slave getting jumped by an Egyptian. Something snaps. Moses throws hands. Egyptian ends up 6 feet under. Sand burial, no witnesses. Or so he thought. Next day, word's out. Pharaoh wants him dead. Moses dips, runs straight into exile like, I'm out. Now he's in Midian. No palace, no crew. Dude just dealing with tiredness and identity issues. Feels like a downgrade, but God's low-key getting him ready. Because what's coming next? Ain't nobody ready for it. So now Moses is out in the wilderness, right? Dude's literally in his I'm done fighting for my people era. He decides to chill out and start over. He marries this good-looking girl and takes up a job herding sheep, just like his father-in-law. No palace drama, no crowds, just vibes, sand, and a fresh identity. He really thought he could ghost his past and live off-grid forever. Then, boom, he sees this bush on fire, but like, it's not burning up. No ash, no smoke, just flames doing their thing like nothing's wrong. Moses pulls up like, what the heck is this? Then, out of nowhere, he hears his name, twice, from the fire. Man freezes, like this ain't some hallucination. The bush is literally calling him out. And here's where it gets extra. God's voice is like, take off your sandals, dude. This is holy ground. Moses is shook, like seriously shook. This ain't a vision board moment. This is raw, loud, holy power. And then God hits him with it. I've seen my people suffering in Egypt. And guess what? You're the one I'm sending. Moses is like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Me? He starts listing excuses like he's dodging a group project. What if they don't believe me? What if I say the wrong thing? What if they ask who sent me? I don't even talk right. I stutter bad. Basically, you got the wrong guy. And God, not even fazed. He's like, who made your mouth? Dead serious. I'll be with you. You speak. I'll handle the rest. Even gives him signs. Hand turning leprous. Staff turning into a snake. Just to show he's not playing. But Moses is still hesitant. Like, can't you just send someone else? At this point, God's like, Fine, Aaron's coming with you, but you're still going. Moses had every reason to say no, every insecurity, every fear. But God didn't care about all that. He picked him anyway. So Moses finally pulls up to Egypt, not as Prince Moses, but as that scruffy, exiled guy with nothing but a stick, a stutter, and a divine assignment. He links up with his brother Aaron, because God knew Moses wasn't ready to solo this. And together, they walk straight into the palace. It's awkward, tense, real high-stakes energy. Moses opens with the line, "God says, let his people go." Pharaoh leans back like, "God who? Never heard of him. Get out." And just like that, the first confrontation ends with a hard no and a heavier workload for the Israelites. Pharaoh doesn't just ignore the message, he doubles the bricks and takes away the straw. Like, "Oh, you want freedom? Bet. Now suffer more." The people turn on Moses real quick. They're like, "Bro, we didn't ask for this. You just made everything worse." Moses goes back to God frustrated, like, "Why even send me if this was gonna flop?" And God's like, "Chill. It's part of the plan. Watch what I do next." Then the real drama starts. Plague after plague. God goes off. First, the Nile turns into blood. Fish die. The whole river smells like death. Then frogs, everywhere, in bowls, in beds, in ovens. It's gross and disrespectful. After that, gnats, then flies. Then livestock starts dropping like flies. Then boils hit people's skin. Then hail comes down like glass shattering from the sky. Then locusts eat what's left. Then darkness, like blackout. Can't see your hand, in front of you darkness. For 3 full days. No sun. Just silence and shadows. After each plague, Pharaoh cold hands start to loosen, but then switches up. One second he's like, okay, y'all can go. Next second, he's like, actually, nah, stay. It's like dealing with someone who keeps ghosting and then texting. Weed? God's not playing games though. Each plague hits harder than the last. It's not just about Egypt suffering. It's about Egypt realizing they're not in charge. By the time the 9th plague hits, Pharaoh's ego is barely holding together. But his pride, still in control, he refuses to tap out. And even though the empire is breaking piece by piece, Pharaoh keeps choosing stubbornness over surrender. What he doesn't know is, God's about to go next level, and the next plague? Yeah, it's not like the others. So here's where it gets mad serious. God tells Moses, tonight's the night. I'm coming through, and if you're not covered, it's game over. That night, every firstborn in Egypt was in some serious dilemma. Didn't matter how old they were or who was the heir. If your door wasn't marked, someone in your house wasn't waking up. This wasn't a drill. This was the moment everything changed. God also rolled out some oddly specific instructions. The Israelites were to take a lamb, the cleanest, healthiest one you got. Then they were to kill it, take the blood, and paint it on their front door like it's a life or death barcode. And then wait inside. No sneaking out, no trying to peek. Just sit there with your people, eat the lamb, wear your shoes, and be ready to dip. And then at midnight, the whole neighborhood is dead silent. Suddenly, screams start breaking through the night. Not the fake kind. These were real, loud, raw, ugly. The kind you only hear when someone's lost their child. Because that's exactly what was happening. Every Egyptian house got hit, even Pharaoh's. His own son didn't make it. But over in the Hebrew homes, nothing, not a sound. Everyone's still. The blood on the door did what God said it would. And when the sun came up, Moses gets the text. Y'all can go, all of you, now. No more chains. No more maybe later. That was it. They didn't march out. They escaped with fire in their chest and their freedom on their feet. All because they trusted a move that made 0 sense. Until it saved everything. The Israelites finally got out. After years of being bossed around, pushed down, and treated like trash, They walked out of Egypt with their heads up and their bags full. It felt unreal, like a dream after a nightmare. No whips, no orders, just air and space and forward. But Pharaoh? He wasn't done. Dude switched up real quick. One minute he's crying, telling them to leave. Next minute, he's suiting up the chariots like, actually, bring them back. The Israelites have no idea Pharaoh's switched up and is coming for them. They are walking, finally free, when they look back and see dust clouds in the distance. Pharaoh's army, full speed, coming hot. They turn around and all they see is the ocean. I mean a whole sea. There was nowhere to run. They had no weapons and no boats. Everyone goes into full panic mode. People start yelling at Moses like it's his fault. Bro, you brought us out here to die? Everyone was thinking the same thing. We're done. But God was like, relax, man, I've got this. Moses stretches out his hand, and the sea, this giant, endless ocean, parts. It splits clean down the middle, like an open hallway made of walls of water. And right through it, dry ground, not wet sand, not slippery mud, straight up walkable. Every single person passes through, looking around like, yo, this is actually happening. No tricks, no camera crew, just God making space where there wasn't any. The Egyptians charge in right after, thinking they can do the same. Big mistake. As soon as the last Israelite steps out, the water crashes back down hard. Pharaoh's army gets swallowed, not one of them makes it, just waves slamming their chariots. And the sound of people realizing they're finally, actually free. Not just free, but alive. Standing on the other side of something that should have ended them. So they're out of Egypt. Free at last. You'd think people would be celebrating, right? Nah. 2 days into the desert, and they're already over it. The heat is a no-brainer. Their lips are dry, and there's no Chick-fil-A in sight. Suddenly, everyone's acting like Egypt was some luxury vacation. They start pressing Moses like, bro, at least when we were slaves, we had food. Now we're just walking aimlessly in the Sahara, eating nothing but sand and disappointment. Moses is trying to stay calm, but he's low-key panicking too. He's standing there like, God, they're about to jump me over snacks. And God's like, I got this. Next morning, boom, there's food all over the ground, like real food. This flaky, sweet stuff that tastes kind of like honey cereal. They name it manna, like what is this? Because they literally don't know what they're eating, but it's bussin'. Every morning, fresh batch, no farming, no cooking, just open your tent and boom. Heaven's version of Uber Eats is on your doorstep. But of course, they start complaining again, because now they're thirsty. People are wilding out in front of Moses, saying stuff like, you brought us out here just to die of thirst? Seriously? Moses is fed up. He's exhausted, stressed, and ready to log off. He asks God what to do, and God tells him to smack a rock. Like, no explanation, just hit the rock. And Moses does it, and water actually comes pouring out. Not a drip, not a trickle. A full-on waterfall in the middle of the desert. Everyone drinks, everyone chills out. For now. Meanwhile, Moses is still trying to play superhero leader, handling every issue solo. People lining up with drama like it's DMV meets therapy hour. His father-in-law, Jethro, pulls up like, yo, what are you doing? You trying to die before we even make it to wherever we're going? This is not sustainable. He tells Moses to build a team, let other people help. Moses listens for once, probably because he's one complaint away from a breakdown. And just like that, things finally start to settle, at least for a minute. The desert didn't kill them, but their own chaos nearly did. After everything, escaping Egypt, the Red Sea, the wild panic attacks in the desert, they finally reached this mountain, Mount Sinai. It's quiet at first, just rocks and wind. But Moses tells everyone, don't get too comfortable. God's about to show up. Clean yourselves, no fooling around. Nobody really knows what that means, but they listen. Because the energy, it's already different. You can feel it in the air like a storm is waiting. Then morning hits. And it's not just sunrise, it's chaos. Thunder starts cracking through the sky like it's tearing something open. Thick smoke wraps the whole mountain, and the ground starts shaking under their feet. Not a little tremor, like full-on, should we run? Kind of shaking. The people freeze. No one's trying to act brave. Even the loudmouths in the back are suddenly silent. This isn't just weather, it's something else, something bigger than all of them. And in the middle of it, Moses just walks up the mountain like he's built for it. No hesitation, no second thoughts. He disappears into the smoke while everyone else stands there like, is he coming back? Did he just walk into fire? Hours pass. Nothing. No updates. No explanation. Just thunder and flames sitting on top of the mountain like it owns the place. Up there, away from the noise, God's laying it down. The real deal. He's not giving Moses a pep talk or a motivational quote. He's giving him the commandments. Straight from the source. 10 of them. Unfiltered. No edits. Don't lie. Don't cheat. Don't kill. Don't steal. Respect your parents. Stop copying what everyone else has. Keep the Sabbath. Worship only me. No distractions. No side gods. No watered down versions. But this wasn't about control. It wasn't God trying to micromanage them. It was about identity. These people had spent their whole lives being told who they were by people who hated them. Be quiet. Work harder. Stay low. Now God's saying, you're mine. And this is what that looks like. These commands weren't punishment. They were purpose. A blueprint for a community that's not just free, but actually whole. God wasn't just handing out a list of do's and don'ts. He was flipping the whole script. This wasn't about rules. It was a full identity shift. These people had grown up being told they were property, nobodies, just hands to build someone else's empire. Now God's like, nah, you're mine. And here's how people who matter move. This wasn't about behavior. It was about becoming. Moses is still up there, locked in, getting all of it straight from the source. Meanwhile, the people don't even know what's coming. They've been waiting so long, they can't tell if it's holy or just scary. But one thing's for sure, when this drops, everything's about to change. Moses is still up there, still on the mountain, still deep in conversation with God, downloading the details, getting the full blueprint for how this new community is supposed to live. Meanwhile, down below, people are losing patience. No signal, no updates, just fire in the sky, and their leader completely MIA. And they start spiraling. Someone goes, maybe he's not coming back. Another one's like, we need something to follow. And before you know it, the group chats out of control. They run up on Aaron, Moses' own brother, and hit him with, make us a god. Like, now. And Aaron doesn't even argue. Doesn't say, yo, maybe let's wait a little. Nah, he folds instantly. Says, bring me all your gold. And the people actually do it. They start peeling off earrings, pulling chains, dumping everything into a fire like they're about to drop a mixtape. Aaron melts it down and molds a golden calf, a cow. And the moment it's done, they're like, yep, that's our god now. And boom, party mode activated. Music, dancing, wild energy. Full-on desert rave around a statue they literally just made that morning. Up on the mountain, God sees what's happening and tells Moses, you're gonna wanna go down there. Your people already switched up. And Moses is shook. He walks down with the 2 stone tablets in his hands. God's words carved in stone. And when he gets close enough to hear the music, see the crowd losing their minds around a cow, something in him just snaps. He doesn't even say a word. He just raises the tablets and slams them into the ground, shatters them, right there in front of everyone. Gone. The weight of what they just threw away hits hard. This wasn't just about some statue. It was the fact that they were so quick to ditch everything God had done for them the second things felt uncertain. They had seen oceans part, food fall from the sky, water come out of a rock, and still They traded it for something shiny and hollow. And Aaron? When Moses presses him, the man doesn't even take full responsibility. He's like, look, they gave me the gold, I tossed it in the fire, and this calf just came out. No real explanation. Just a weird, shaky excuse that made zero sense. Moses is standing there, holding the weight of everything God just gave him, and Aaron's acting like the idol built itself. The leadership just crumbled. The people were wild, but Aaron let it happen and tried to spin it like he wasn't part of it. After everything, like everything, you'd expect God to peace out. The people literally built a golden cow and danced around it like God hadn't just saved their lives. It was messy, it was wild, and honestly, it felt like they blew it hard, but God didn't walk away. That's the part that sticks. He could have said, I'm done, and no one would have blamed him, but instead, he tells Moses, I'm still here, but we're gonna have to rebuild this. So Moses sets up this tent just outside the camp, a little distance away from everybody's drama, and when he goes in, it's not just some private moment. The whole camp watches. People stand at their doors, just quietly staring like, dang, he's actually still showing up. That cloud, the same one that led them before, starts hovering at the entrance. God didn't leave, he just took a step back, but he's still there, still talking to Moses. And not in some loud echo from the sky way. The Bible literally says God spoke to him like a friend. That part hits different. At one point, Moses straight up tells God, if you're not going with us, we're not going anywhere. No fake faith, no pretending, just real honesty. He's like, we need you, not blessings, you. And God responds by telling them to build him a space, a tabernacle. Something real, something mobile. Not a building with a stage and lights, just a space that says, we still want you here. And this time, they do it right. No complaining, no shortcuts. They give what they have. They follow instructions. Because deep down, they know they messed up, and they want things to be different. And then it happens. The cloud comes down and fills the space. God literally moves in. From that day forward, that cloud was everything. When it moved, they moved. When it stayed, they stayed. No guessing, no overplanning, just following. It wasn't perfect. They still had issues. But God was there, present. Not because they earned it, but because he chose to be. And honestly, that's the part Gen Z needs to hear. You can mess up. You can doubt. You can get bored, distracted, insecure, chaotic, all of it. And he still won't bounce. He doesn't ghost you because you fail. He builds a way to stay close, even in the mess. That presence, it doesn't wait for you to get it together. It moves with you, right in the middle of figuring it all out. So, we started with a baby in a basket, and somehow ended up with a bunch of people hauling a glowing tent through the desert, while God shows up in cloud mode. Honestly, wild. But look, if there's one thing Exodus makes clear, it's that God doesn't just rescue people and dip. He sticks around, even when you're messy, even when you build dumb stuff out of panic, even when you act like you forgot he was ever there in the first place. And if that sounds like your life, yeah. Welcome to the club. Anyway, if you vibed with this, if you learned something, felt something, or just liked hearing someone talk about the Bible without sounding like a robot, go ahead and hit that like button. Drop a yo that was wild in the comments. And if you're into this type of thing, subscribe. You already know it's free, so don't play. See you in the next one, whenever that drops. God's still moving. Peace.